Isn't that right, little piggies? Because at the end of it, you got to try a little tenderness. As Donkey said to Shrek. Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Okay, here we are back in the area that we did a while ago when Justin from Metcalf Mills came out here with his Mini X, made us something of a little terrace here. And at the time, you can go back and watch that video if you want to see what it looked like before, but at the time, it was bare. And all we went through is after we knocked down, let me just back up first of all to the people that are new here. Okay. Here we are on the side of a mountain, literally. You know, back up in there, you know, we're finding satellite dishes. We're finding all kinds of things we didn't even know were in here. Well, the pigs ran through this and discovered all kinds of nasty things for us. Okay. Well, that's the cool thing, folks, is that every bit of this up here looked exactly like the thicket you see beyond. Well, using permaculture, using our pigs, we ran them through first. They utterly destroyed everything we didn't want here. The silvergrass, which, by the way, they ate, the very invasive silvergrass that's here. All the weeds, all the thickets, all the thorns. If they didn't eat it, believe me, by the time they're done, you'll know they were there. So they made little terraces in this landscape, which we exploited to make a much, much larger terrace. Now, here we are on pimp level 1. Permaculture is my passion, level number 1. Up here, pimp level 2. We're going to keep doing this all the way up to the top of this mountain, to the top of my property. Okay, that's where it's ultimately going to go. But anyway, you can see it. We planted buckwheat and cowpea behind it because we want something. All this stuff in here wasn't here, y'all. It was just basically a big muddy mound after it rained. Well, we got the buckwheat and we got the cowpea in there to give this soil structure. Also, because I can't plant trees and stuff dead of summer, probably not the best time to do it. We got this stuff holding the place of what was here. Now, whenever you see thickets and thorns and stuff like that in ground, it's usually an open indication that your soil's jacked up. And that's what these guys and gals are here to do. They're here to put structure into that soil, put nitrogen down in that soil, displace the weeds that would ordinarily pop up in its place. Now, we're going to go down here. Now, look at this. This is what they've done. The pigs are going to keep going through the landscape till they hit the end of our property. They're going to go up, and then they're going to come back up here. Or we process them, whichever one comes first. Okay, so I just want to briefly point out what we got here. We got a peach. It didn't produce this year, but last year this thing produced the best peaches I've ever had in my life. And I'm reasonably sure that somebody threw a peach pit up here, and that's what happened. But right alongside it, you'll see this here. I don't want to walk up in there and mess it up. There's a black locust that's there in very close proximity. We didn't put it there, but we left it there because it's taking that atmospheric nitrogen, putting it down to the soil to the benefit of that productive tree. That's exactly what we want. That's what we see in nature, and that's what we're replicating all over the place. Now let's kind of walk down here. Look at all this green coming up. You'll even see some remnants of the silvergrass that's still there, but by and large, all the general weeds and thorns, if you get up there and look, they're largely being displaced by the seeds we put in there. How beautiful is that? Anyway, the pigs have just been recently moved about a week or so ago, and you can see their net over here in the distance. But this is where they left off. You can see where the green stops and, you know, the other stuff begins. So here's what we're going to do today. And it ain't going to take that long. Folks, this is a war you don't win in miles, but in inches, okay? So all we're going to do, run our weed eater. We're going to seed first. Same thing. Buckwheat, cowpea. It's a little long in the tooth for both. But all I care is that it does something. It doesn't have to do a whole lot. And then later on, it'll be replaced with clovers and a number of other things until we're about ready to plant. But what we're going to do today is pick it up right here where this line is left off. We got a dead tree that's kind of laid over there. We got this poplar that we're probably going to take down as well. And basically, all this ground over here was absolutely worked over by the pigs. Look at what they've done here. You'd think this was a complete mess, but it's not. If you use these things to your favor. Use the pigness of the pig to your favor, which is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to break out the chainsaw. William's going to work the weed eater. We're going to run through this in no time, and then we're going to seed it, and then we're off to the races. Oh, and by the way, check out this doggone shirt I got on, y'all. For my man, Eric Sider. Check him out, y'all. Excellent, especially for you people that are working in a, I mean, he can work in any environment, but basically right now he's been concentrating on his YouTube channel, working with smaller spaces or maybe backyards, things like that. But it says it all right there, y'all. Always be composting. If you want a shirt like this or a number of others, check out his, because honestly, he has the coolest permaculture shirts out there. All right, with that said, it's off to the races. All right, y'all, so that's done. And like I said, this doesn't have, I mean, if you'll go back and look at it, we did it incrementally. Whatever paddock the pigs left, that's what we worked on. They do 99% of it, we come back and knock out the 10. Essentially, folks, what we're doing is high impact, long rest. But we're not gonna leave nature bare. Nature hates to be barren. It can't stand, it's very modest. So that's where we help out. Right here, you see this inoculant. I just now threw the buckwheat in there. That little star-shaped seed, that's buckwheat. Rest of it's cowpea. We hit it with some inoculant. So that's what we always do whenever we plant some kind of legume by and large. So I basically stuck the inoculant in there, got a little bit wet, and it's been sitting there for a little while. Now I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna cast it by hand. And I don't even care, by and large. Now, on the bottom of this hill, Michelle has some seeds that she wanted to put in there, just basically an experiment, something like a cold weather seed that she can go out and kind of harvest down low. So I'm going to leave all that, but everything from basically from about, here up, from there all the way up, I'm going to go ahead and cast with this seed. And then we'll just go ahead and hit it. By and large, when we knocked it down with a weed eater, it created something of a mulch layer for us. So we really don't have to do much in this area because we had some of that silvergrass that was left over. It was barely hanging, stuff the pigs didn't get to. William went through, knocked it down. So all I'm going to do is just kind of go up here and then kind of cast this seed. And just like you see back there, it's exactly the same method we did. We didn't even really have to hit it with much in terms of, anything. It already had a natural mulch layer there, so I'm just going to kind of go through, hit it with the seed, and then maybe we'll put out a little bit of straw. But that's by and large it, folks. This is exactly what we're doing. You can see the pigs over here. Check this out. Got them turned off. Okay, if I get Kentucky Fried, it's going up. I hear something clicking, so I'm not about to risk it. Anyway, these the three little piggies over here, they're doing their thing. But look over here. You see that multi-floor rose? Man, we found stuff in there. I mean, these were some trifling folks that were here before. I mean, we found all kinds of junk in here that the pigs exposed for us. So now look what they did here. They're opening up a whole avenue. I can't even begin to describe just how nasty, thickety, and awful that stuff was. But look at them. This is what they do. We throw their, you know, if we want a place that needs a lot more concentration, we'll just throw the feed on it. And whatever's there will be gone. It will not be there. But they've opened that up to where I could easily go in. We could either have Justin come through with that machine and pluck it up like he did the last one, or we can do what is probably going to be the easiest solution. Go through there with the chainsaw, chop it down. Once they leave this paddock, then we'll clean it up. Keep on going and going and going. So folks, look at this. Just kind of come full circle here. You see that jungle up there? That's exactly what was in the place I'm standing right now. And these pigs do 99.999% of the work for us. It could be goats, it could be any number of other things, but pigs are what we use because I got to have my swine. So anyway, and you know what? And they love it too. You know, that's really indulging in what they love. This isn't abuse. This isn't anything other than but bliss to them. Because like all pigs, you know, they're going to root, not all pigs, but most pigs. They're going to do what they're designed to do. And that happy accident that, you know, we picked a breed that does exactly the right amount of damage we need, and then we move them out. And they're right little piggies. Because at the end of it, you got to try a little tenderness. As Donkey said to Shrek. But that's what they love. Anyway, I love what I do. These pigs love what they do. Can you think of a better symbiosis? And I hear thunder in the distance, which means my bone sauce is probably going to get washed out. Anybody needing any of that, the bone sauce, deer repellent, go to our website, get some of that, the comfrey. We also got some of that too, y'all. Oh, let's not also forget that William, he's carving, you know, that's his hobby. He's carving spoons. He's going to have plenty of that up there for anybody that's interested. So we thank everybody for your support. We thank you for watching these videos. You know, we thank you for allowing us to do the lifestyle that we feel like we were put on this planet to do. So remember, till next time, this is Billy the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for permaculture is my passion. And so is this. We'll see y'all next time.